And hello, you Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again, bringing you my thoughts and review for last night's episode of Star Wars Andor Season 2, Episode 9. Now, I think 8 and 9 are pretty much my favorite episodes, 8 overall, but 9 is just as good. So, let's talk about it. Spoilers ahead if you have not caught up to Andor Season 2 or Andor, period. And what are you waiting for? Anyway, so episode 8 pretty much ended with the genesis of all genesis in a way, where the planet that the so-called mineral that the Empire is looking for through the spiders, they attacked the people there who were protesting, and a lot of people got hurt and killed as well, including Sylv. His wife finds out. She's devastated. Mother finds out on the TV. She starts crying. Cassian leaves, kind of feeling like, overwhelmed at what happened. He was trying to kill Sylv's wife at the time. That was his main target. And now it's pretty much a day after that. And now the aftermath has just gone into this to the point where even the Senate has to now get involved. And in this episode, we see Mon Mothma. She's about to make a speech about it and talk about what's going on, and truly kind of throw the Empire under the bus in a way. And the Empire is not having it. They want her arrested. They want her out of the equation. And Cassian and the team have to literally get her out of there and protect her. Now, apparently, the Empire was going to be the ones to pick her up and be like, oh yeah, we can take you out of the Senate and protect you, but it was really a lie. And Mon Mothma finds out through Luthen. Luthen tells her like, oh yeah, Senator Organa's team, who's supposed to escort you out of there, they're not gonna help you. They're just gonna take you, arrest you, and send you flying, send you packing to pretty much your death in a way, which gets Cassian to be the one who has to not only save her at the end of her speech, because she starts talking about how the truth is also a lie, about how truth of evil can happen. Is just, she did a really good speech, and then they want her. The Empire wants her out of there. They want her silent. They want all that, and it's like I've been saying from before. When we first start seeing Mothma starts, playing with the Senate stuff, you see her at the point where she's gonna go into the rebel force and become that voice. This is it. This is the episode that literally tells us, Mothma, who she is moving forward with the rest of the Star Wars, saga. She becomes the voice of pretty much the rebels in a way before Princess Leia does. And this episode kind of also reminded me of the Hunger Games. If you guys ever seen that, Hunger Games with Katniss Everdeen, where when she won the Hunger Games, then she became the voice of the people. Even though when people started kind of rebellion against the Capitol, they still needed a voice to kind of help push them further, to say that way they can overthrow the Capitol. Pretty much the same thing here. You have the rebels doing their thing, setting up their, we're gonna rebel, we're gonna fight, but they needed that push. They had Cassian. He's already there, pretty much the leader, the general in a way, but they needed that extra oomph to it. Mothma is the oomph to it, and she puts pretty much she basically takes the flag and starts waving it in a way. Because at first, when you first see it, you first see this episode, you like, oh, is Mothma gonna do this? Is she not confused? She is confused, very, very confused. But then she's gonna eventually realize that, oh yeah, if I can help make these speeches and people are gonna listen and start rebellion, we have hope moving forward. Get it? A new hope. I'm not talking about just the Jedi's returning. You know what I mean? Because remember, if you guys watch episode 3 of Star Wars, when the Galactic Empire first got born by Darth Sidious, and she literally name dropped him. She literally called him Sidious in her speech, and then the Empire cut it off. So I thought that was pretty cool. he started the Galactic Empire, and everybody thought it was gonna be all right. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Politics is politics. But then it got to the point where it started getting bad, where people started getting killed. People started to be in fear. And then the rebels have to come up and find a way to stand up for themselves and have people follow them and to protect themselves, right? Basically, remember, there's no Jedi. The Jedi's are all gone. They're all dead or hiding at this point until New Hope happens. But Mon Mothma becomes that spark that helps make the rebellion move forward. And then when she's ready to pass the baton to Leia, Leia becomes that pinnacle of the Rebel Alliance. Because once she gets the Death Star plan, she takes it to Alderaan. Alderaan has it. They find a way to destroy the Death Star. Because remember, this is all leading up to the birth of the Death Star. The Death Star has yet to be built yet. Yes, at the end of episode 3, we saw the construction of the Death Star, but it wasn't fully operational. Remember, that thing basically, if you guys know episode 7, Star Killer Base, that thing is a Star Killer. That thing can destroy a planet without even blinking an eye, in a sort of way, you know what I mean? With its laser. So, nobody knows about that yet except the higher-ups of the Empire. I don't think even the Empire itself knows about what the Emperor's true plan is with the Death Star. Because with that thing, planets are gone instantly. You know what? You can rebel. Oh, how cute. Fire. Gone. So this leads into all that. From Rogue One all the way episode 4 to the construction, finishing of the Death Star, fully battle operations Death Star, the first one and the second one, and then eventually Star Killer Base, and we know the rest. So I really thought this episode was great. Mothma was great. She's fantastic. And Cassian in this episode, there are moments where he's got to kill people. He doesn't even hesitate. He does not even hesitate, and I thought it worked so well. There's a point where and Mothma finds out that her assistant is pretty much kind of like a spy against her. Fires him off the spot. Then he ends up helping her out at the end. Her driver ends up being a spy as well. Cassian takes him out without even hesitating. So there was that. There was even another spy trying to take Mon Mothma for, either execution or lock up or whatever. And he takes her out too. So Cassian does not fold under pressure. He doesn't even hesitate. When he has to kill somebody, he just does it. He doesn't blink an eye. He just is like, no. And you just got Mon Mothma in the back, like confused, scared at the same time. And I thought it was great. And then the ending, we get to see kind of a sad thing for Cassian, where he's just like at the point, he's like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't think I can do this. I may be a leader, but I'm kind of rash in a way, and I can't do what I do. I can only go so far. And then his girl Bix leaves him, and she's like, yeah, I gotta go, because he was like, oh yeah, we can go together. We can get out of here. They got Mothma now. They don't need me anymore. She can move forward and do what they got to do for the rebels to move forward and do what they got to do. And she's like, listen, if we stay together and disappear together, I'm holding you back because you're going to find that guilty. You're going to be guilty about that moving forward. And I can't be responsible for you feeling guilty about that later on in life. So she leaves, basically kind of forcing Cassian to stay in a way. Because he wanted to leave with her. He wanted him and her to disappear, live happy ever after somewhere else. But she knew that if she left with him, she was going to, he was going to end up hesitating and be like, wow, maybe I should have left. Because he couldn't be like, man, I should have never left in a year, 2 years from now. That's going to be bogging in his back of his mind, and she's going to feel guilty, like, I went with you. I could have stopped you from leaving. You could have stayed and being the true leader that you're supposed to be. But I stayed with you. We left together. But her leaving, basically telling Cassian to like, yeah, I'm going to leave so you can focus on being who you need to be. You need to be the leader, the captain for these guys. These guys need the rebel leader. It has to be you. And then, we'll meet up later on. Well, later on will probably be the aftermath, which is both their deaths. If she dies, because we don't know if she's going to die near the end. Now, spoilers for Rogue One, Cassian does die at the end of that movie, but we don't know what happens to Bix, because she's not in Rogue One, and we don't know if she's gonna die in next week's episode or the series finale, which is episode 12. So we don't know. So maybe they both die together and live ghostly ever after, but who knows? But yeah, overall, great episode. Excuse me. And also Cassian's robot, he wakes up. I think Alec Tulik plays his voice. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's the same actor from the movie. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's Alec Tulik or somebody else. I might be thinking of somebody else. Anyway, he comes online. He sees him pointing a gun at him. And he goes, "You're not pointing that gun at me, sir." Kind of like in a British accent in a way, like he always had. So I'm glad his robot is finally activated, and they're gonna start working together through the duration of the series, and of course Rogue One. And yeah, that's it. Great episode. Pretty much starting the rebel, rebellion phase now, and they're ready to go. They're ready for the fight of their life, and you know what? Cannot wait to see it, because we already know how it all ends. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Are you guys watching Andor season 2? Did you start it? Not started? How do you feel about it right now? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good night.